Crystal at the Rain Dance Ranch. One of these days I'm gonna get those daffodils planted. But I decided to clear out the bed and prep the bed as much as possible. So, what did I do with? There it is. I thought I brought it over here. So what I've been decided to do, I talked about it in my previous video, is there was a little tree trunk here and a kind of big leftover shungiku, which wasn't too hard to get out, but it took a little more than just a little yank. And then there was another shungiku here. Again, it just came up when I forked. So, and then there was a grass, nothing too hard to take out, but still I had to stop and take it out because I just want to make this a clean planting bed. Now, my reasoning for leaving a lot of this stuff in here was to help with the whole root exudate activity. So one way I was looking at everything that I did in this garden, I was looking at it as though it was all cover crop, but yet at the same time I was experimenting with things like yarrow, which went successfully, and I have a nice bed of yarrow there. And I did plant at the early fall a sedum autumn joy, and it was all covered in dirt, and it was like right there where I wanted to plant. So I dug that up, and underneath it's got all kinds of new growth on it. So I don't know if I should bury that. I am gonna come in with some more soil. So as you can, I don't know if you can tell, but this is not tilled, but forked. You can kind of see where the fork went in. And this is the fork that I use. Now, I've seen some in the roofing area of Home Depot for a lot cheaper, and they look like they would do the same job, and they have sort of like these flat tines. See how they're kind of flat instead of like pokey, like a pitchfork. So this is like pokey and round. So you just want to come in and I'm not worried about anything that's living in here right now, like that cover crop, the cowpea cover crop. So now it might be kind of hard here because there's some wood chips probably down kind of low, buried in the ground right there. So that one's going to get buried if I don't pull it out. So you just place your fork in, and you want to be moving backwards. See, like right there, I stepped on the spot that I just opened up. And we're just sort of aerating. It's aerating and loosening. And you could probably do it a little further apart than when I'm doing it. I'm doing this one-handed. And a lot of times I'll do like 2 rows at a time. So while I'm doing this row, I'll come over here, and so I'm just going like this. Now, you could do this with a broad fork. However, I haven't been able to find a broad fork for sale anywhere, and all the ones online are really expensive. And I don't really have that big of a space right now, and I need the exercise. And this is just what I'm going to have to do until I can get a broad fork. And eventually I will, because I'm going to want to make more beds. And it sure would be nice to have something 3 times as long as this garden fork. But even so, garden fork is very useful for so many things. And if you have a tight spot that you need to aerate or loosen, you can do it better with this than with the broad fork. So there we go. That's how I do that. So then I come along and I sprinkle. What did I do with my gloves? I took them off. Oh well, I guess I'm gonna have to get my hands dirty. Where did I put them? Okay, everything is all over the garden as usual. I'm always losing something along the way. So this area, I'll say, so this area I broad fork just around the cloches and around that cloche too, because there was a plant that I want to leave there a time, and then these two have nigella under them, and I don't want to mess up the nigella, so I just forked around this area. And here is again where I replanted the sedum autumn sage, and there was more kale growing in here that I'm just kind of seeing how long can this thing go. And I should have left the other one that was here, but I took it out and I left this one in, but the other one had a root going all the way across for like us, and also the root exudate action, you know, and you want to keep that going. So anyway, so I've already put some soil on top here, and some of it's kind of falling into the holes, and I'm just kind of work it into the top. And this is some more of that mix that I had made for the chrysanthemums. It's just a little bit of mushroom compost from Home Depot, and some peat and some steer manure. Not very much steer manure. I'm probably going to come up on top of this section with another layer of steer manure. But I don't necessarily think that these particular plants need a lot of fertilization, or, you know, I don't want to over manure it. And then while I was doing this, I was like, I'm finding it bothersome how the bed is not level. So I'm starting the process of sort of building these retained sections, or there's a word for that. Not veranda. But anyway, so I'm going to be doing another line of bricks up across, right across here. Probably just down a little from this. I only have so many. I love these Rumble bricks, by the way. However much these cost, they're totally worth it. And they used to sell these little regular sized Rumble bricks. Let's see. See, this is 2 like regular bricks that you know and love, the brick size. Just 2 regular bricks on top of each other. And yeah. So that's what's happening. I might do something down here in the yarrow bed too. I'm probably going to add a little bit of this stuff on top, and then just sort of do some aeration where there's no plants growing. Because this is pretty much an unworked soil, which I do think affects the blooming and size and stuff of the yarrow, because even though yarrow can take really bad soils, even clay soil is questionable for yarrow, I would say. And this is pretty clay. So I want to continue to work on making it a little less clay by adding a mixture like what I added here. Okay, so progress has been made. I'm almost done. It really didn't take too long to even get this far. All right, thanks for watching. When it rains, go out and dance.